How do you find and hire a nanny? The short answer is figure out what you need, find qualified candidates, vet them thoroughly, and put the right systems in place once you've made your choice. Simple enough in theory, but once you actually start searching for a nanny, the questions just start piling up. How much does a nanny cost? Where should you look? What qualifications matter most? How do you know if you can trust someone? And what happens after you find the right person? This video answers all of it. By the end of this video, you'll know how to find a nanny, how to hire one, and what most parents don't realize comes after. Let's start with the most important step. Before you search for a nanny, you need to know what you're looking for. This sounds obvious, but it's where a lot of families get stuck. The most common mistake is jumping straight into reviewing profiles before actually defining the job. So before you do anything else, answer 4 questions. First, what type of nanny do you need? Full-time, part-time, after-school care, a live-in nanny, a night nanny? Second, what are your must-haves? Maybe that's CPR training, a driver's license, infant experience, comfort with pets, experience with multiple children. Third, what are your deal breakers? For some families, that might be smoking. For others, it might be a poor driving record or a lack of references. And fourth, what does your child specifically need? A nanny who is fantastic with newborns may not be the right fit for a family with school-age children. The more specific you are now, the easier every step becomes later. These answers become the foundation of your nanny job description and help you compare candidates based on what matters most. Now that you know what you need, let's get to the question everybody's thinking. How much is this going to cost? The cost of a nanny depends on 4 main factors: your location, the number of children, the nanny's experience, and the responsibilities involved. A nanny who's caring for 1 infant will likely have a different rate than a nanny managing 3 children, school pickups, and household tasks. But before you land on a number, there's more to factor in than just hourly pay. There can be taxes, benefits, paid time off, mileage reimbursement, and annual raises or bonuses. These add up. Care.com's cost of care calculator can help you understand what hourly rate caregivers in your area are asking for. And if you're browsing nannies on Care.com, you can set your budget so you're only reviewing candidates in your price range from the start. One more thing, be upfront with candidates about how much you're willing to pay and how you want to pay them. No one wants to get to the end of the process and have it fall apart over money. When expectations are clear from the beginning, everyone saves time. And when it comes to actually paying your nanny, use something like HomePay by Care.com to make sure you're staying compliant with all the tax and legal obligations that come with being a household employer. Paying on the books doesn't just help you. Your nanny will gain short and long-term protections and benefits like Social Security income, Medicare, unemployment benefits, and a credit history so they can qualify for a car loan or mortgage. Next, where to actually find your candidates. There are 4 main ways to find nanny candidates, and each one comes with some trade-offs. Let's break them down. First, there are online platforms. Sites like Care.com give families access to thousands of local caregivers. You can search profiles, post a job, look at ratings and reviews from families like yours, and move through the process on your own timeline. Plus, individual caregivers on Care.com start with the required background check with additional checks available. You can even do video interviews with as many candidates as you want without ever having to exchange personal info. The trade-off is that you'll typically be sorting through candidates yourself, but a lot of parents actually like that level of control and prefer it over nanny agencies that are more hands-on, but also more costly. Speaking of which, the second option is a nanny agency. Agencies typically pre-screen candidates, verify references, and manage much of the vetting process for you. That can save a lot of time, but it usually comes with a placement fee. That fee can be anywhere from 10 to 25% of a nanny's gross annual compensation, or a flat fee that may range from about $1,500 to $5,000 in that. The third option is personal referrals. Recommendations from friends, neighbors, and other parents can be valuable because they come from a trusted source. The downside, you're working with a smaller candidate pool, and caregivers may not have completed a background check. Also, just because this person was right for your friend's family doesn't mean they'll be right for yours. The fourth place people find nannies is through community sources like local parenting groups, community forums, Facebook groups, Nextdoor, and even college job boards. These can be a helpful way to connect with local candidates. However, you'll face similar downsides here as with personal referrals. You don't know if these caregivers have been background checked, and you're limiting yourself to fewer options who are less tailored to your family. You never know where the right fit is hiding, which reminds me, hiring a nanny is a process, and it helps to think of it like a funnel. At the top, you've got everybody. Let's say 50 people apply to your job posting. Some don't have the experience you're looking for, some aren't available during the hours you need. Some are outside your budget. So after your first review, maybe you're down to 10 candidates. Then you do a quick phone screen. You confirm availability, talk through expectations, cover any deal breakers. Now, maybe you're down to 3 or 4 people. Those candidates move on to interviews where you're evaluating things that don't show up on a resume. Communication, personality, experience, compatibility with your family, and eventually, you may invite 1 or 2 candidates to do a trial. Because seeing someone interact with your child in real life can tell you more than hours of interviewing ever could. And at the bottom of the funnel, one hire. The right nanny for your family. So if you're early in your search and feeling overwhelmed by the number of profiles you're looking at, that's completely normal. You're not supposed to hire the first person you see. You're supposed to narrow the field until you find someone you trust. Care.com makes that process easier by keeping candidates organized in one place and offering in-platform video interviews so you can get to know candidates quickly without exchanging personal contact information up front. So that's the process. But what makes someone actually worth hiring? Let's talk about it while my baby gets some fresh air. You know your family best, but these 4 qualities are worth looking for no matter what. First, experience that matches your family's needs. Not all childcare experience is the same. Second, training. First aid and CPR are non-negotiables, and it's completely reasonable to ask to see proof of both. Third, reliability. Pay close attention to how they communicate during the hiring process. Do they respond promptly, show up on time, follow through on commitments? How they show up before they're hired tells you a lot about how they'll show up after. And fourth, compatibility. Do your approaches to discipline, screen time, and routines align? Because even a highly qualified nanny can be the wrong fit if your expectations are completely different. Trust your instincts. You're not being overly picky. You're making an important decision for your family. Now, finding candidates is one thing. Making sure that they're the right fit is another. There are 6 things to do when vetting a candidate. The first is the phone screen. A quick conversation confirms availability, pay expectations, and basic qualifications before you invest any more time. If you're using Care.com to find your caregiver, you can use our built-in video interview tool. The second is the in-person interview. This is your chance to go deeper, ask questions, discuss expectations, and if possible, observe how they interact with your children. And if you want the full list of questions worth asking, we have an entire video on that link below. The third is references. Check them and actually call them. A surprising number of families skip this step, but references can tell you things that resumes and interviews simply can't. The fourth is a background check. This is one of the most important parts of the hiring process, even if the candidate came referred by someone you trust. If you watched our nanny background check video, you already know why this step matters so much. And if you're browsing caregivers on Care.com, remember every individual caregiver has already completed an initial background check. The fifth is identity and training. Ask for a copy of their ID and verify any training they mentioned: CPR, first aid, early childhood education. And finally, we always recommend a paid trial. A working interview lets you see how the nanny actually interacts with your children in real life. Sometimes a candidate who looks perfect on paper feels very different in person. And sometimes a great fit becomes obvious almost immediately. So you found your person. Here's how to make it official. Once you've found the right nanny, don't wait too long to make an offer. The strongest candidates often have multiple opportunities. When you make that offer, be clear about 4 things: total compensation, hours, responsibilities, start date, and put everything in writing. A nanny contract covers scheduling, paid time off, duties, house rules, and what happens if the arrangement needs to end. A contract isn't about creating distrust. It's about creating clarity. And clarity is good for everyone. One final step, and it's one that a lot of first-time families don't see coming. When you hire a nanny, you may become a household employer. And that comes with real legal and financial responsibilities. In practice, that means 4 things. The first is payroll. The second, taxes. You'll need to withhold and pay required taxes. The third is employment eligibility verification. And the fourth is workers' compensation insurance, which depending on where you live may be required. Services like Home Pay by Care.com can help you manage all of this so you're not navigating the fine print on your own. Getting these details right from the start helps protect both you and your nanny. So let's bring it all together. If you're trying to figure out how to hire a nanny, Step 1, define your needs. Step 2, set your budget. Step 3, find candidates. Step 4, know who you're looking for. Step 5, vet them thoroughly. Step 6, make a clear offer. Step 7, if required, set yourself up properly as an employer. Hiring a nanny can feel overwhelming at first, but when you break the process into steps, it's much more manageable. And remember, the goal is finding the right nanny for your family. Where are you in your nanny search right now? Drop it in the comments.